The ocean is such a vast part of our world that we have only been able to explore enough to skim the surface. Each year we are introduced to new things underwater that were literally right under our noses for years. Here are 10 of the most incredible underwater discoveries. Possible alien aircraft. In June of 2011, Swedish diving team Ocean X was exploring the northern Baltic Sea when at the bottom of the Bothnian Sea, they discovered a weird anomaly that was circular with a diameter of 200 feet leaning against a pillar. The circular object looked a lot like something from a science fiction movie, even though it seemed to be mainly comprised of rock. Speculations include parts of an ancient civilization or the wreckage of an alien spacecraft. Underwater Stonehenge. Stonehenge in the United Kingdom is one of the most incredible ancient structures in the world, but it seems that Lake Michigan also has their own version of the ancient stones underwater near Traverse City, Michigan. Discovered in 2007 by Mark Hawley, a professor of underwater archaeology, the stones were found in a circle in about 40 feet of water and have ancient carvings of extinct animals, like the mastodon. Theories range from the underwater stones being an ancient ceremonial site back when the area was a frozen tundra, as well as a possible meeting place for tribes as they traveled for food. Thonis. Known as Thonis to the ancient Egyptians and Heraklion to the ancient Greeks, this underwater city was buried under sand and mud for over 1,200 years. The ruins were found 30 feet underwater in the Mediterranean Sea near Alexandria, Egypt in 2000 by a French explorer who was accompanied by a team from the European Institute of Underwater Archaeology. The city was said to have originally been built on stilts on islands over the water, and it is believed that the stilts eventually gave way, resulting in the city sinking. Along with the city, the team has also discovered artifacts that are miraculously intact and in good condition, including gold coins and relics from local temples. Antikythera mechanism. Built in the 2nd century BCE, the Antikythera mechanism is the first known computer in an ancient sense. It was called a computer because of its ability to track years and passing stars, as well as its extraordinary complex design. The device was discovered in 1901 by sponge divers off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera, and now sits in the Greek National Archaeological Museum in Athens, and continues to be studied by engineers and historians. World War II silver. About 300 miles southwest of Ireland and 2.9 miles underwater sat 48 tons of silver bullion that was being transferred from India to England in 1941. During World War II, Great Britain found themselves dangerously low on silver and called for an emergency supply from India. A torpedo is said to have struck the vessel and the silver sank into the depths of the ocean, deeper than the Titanic. The silver was discovered by Odyssey Marine Exploration, who were hired from the British government to locate and return the lost metal. It was the heaviest cargo the company had ever shipped. The silver ended up being used for coins and was found to be worth $38 million. Apollo 11. What does Amazon and NASA have in common? In July 2013, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos discovered the lost engine that sent the famous astronauts Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins to the moon, and set the stage for the famous first moonwalk. Bezos had been undergoing the expedition in secret since 2012 and swore that he would find the engine. Indeed, he made history when his mission was successful. The lost Apollo 11 engine was found 14,000 feet deep on the seabed of the Atlantic Ocean, just offshore from Cape Canaveral, Florida. Spiders. If you're afraid of spiders, we're sorry to say that you can't even avoid them by going in water, for there is a spider species that lives underwater. Known as the diving bell spider, this incredible creature spins a bubble out of its own web and breathes by sticking its rear into the pocket of air. The spider returns to the surface to replenish oxygen and pretty much uses the bubble like its own tank. Prey gets caught in the sticky web so that the spider can eat and feed. Titanic. After the Titanic sank in 1912, divers and underwater technology tried desperately for years to locate the wreckage. Until then, rumors and witness testimonies were the only thing to go on when it came to the fate of the sunken ship. It wasn't until 1985 when Dr. Robert D. Ballard led a team of American and French explorers that they literally just happened upon the ship 12,000 feet underwater and about 350 miles away from Newfoundland. The explorers were shocked to discover that the liner was still intact, but had in fact split in half on the night of its sinking. This strange and revolutionary discovery solved a lot of mysteries and inspired multiple vehicles for telling Titanic's story all over again. Yonaguni Monument. Thousands of years ago, Japan had its own city of Atlantis that sunk into the depths of the ocean after an earthquake, and that fabled city was known as Mu. Since 1992, marine geologist Masaki Kimura has been diving and studying the underwater pyramid-like structure that is from a city 5,000 years old. The formations and remains known as the Yonaguni Monument were first discovered by a diver in 1986, and many believe that they are the remains of the infamous city Mu, as the legend's geography and the location of the monument seem to line up. Some historians doubt the legitimacy of the formations, but Kimura believes they are man-made and quite significant, and is hopeful that others' eyes will be opened. Train Graveyard. In 1985, 2 locomotives from the 1850s were discovered under 90 feet of water off the coast of New Jersey. The strange part about the discovery was that there were no historical records that the train ever existed, let alone that they were even lost. It is believed that the trains were being shipped by boat when the ship was caught in a storm. The locomotives either fell off the ship or they were intentionally put